There it is. We're live at 11:05 on BC. Spirit Cars. Josh, the voice of Spirit Cars here, make everybody dizzy. Okay, there we go. Now we have the, I'm not sure if it's the famous or the infamous, one of the two, Larry Tall T, the Black Knight. You're all dressed in black.
Black Knight,
so
yeah.
here we are in perfect timing. Down from Iowa. We're putting the motor in. We're like doing the brakes. And I've got to say, I've worked with actually quite a few people over the years building cars. And a lot of people have really been detailed and know what they want, and I mean, we're going their direction. But I have never, ever worked with anybody that's 2 steps ahead of me. No matter where we're at, you are pre-thought this out, and then you pre-thought the next level. And it makes it fun to work on. In this car, I'm liking it. You liking it?
I'm loving it. Yeah, it's looking really good.
So today's 11:05. You're just going to tell us what we're doing. I mean, that's what you're doing here today.
What we're doing.
You're working with Sean. We're doing brakes.
Yep.
But telling us, I mean, the people that have been watching, there's some folks that are actually enjoy the car and they're liking it. And
I'm liking it too.
well, here, tell us about. We painted the motor. It's not
That's
in
the
out.
motor paint. Yep.
But it's
Under
looking.
there.
Yeah,
Got aluminum head.
I guess you can unrail a little bit.
Got aluminum head. Got an air gap high-rise manifold. It's polished. We're going to replace these valve covers. We've got some valve covers over there. I'll show you in a little bit.
It's a Chevy motor.
It's a Chevy 383 stroker motor. It's all forged, bottom end.
So it's new, fresh, never been started.
Fresh, never been started.
So we're going to have to break it in and do all that.
It's got to be broke in. Yep. It develops 505 horsepower, and it 490 foot-pounds of torque at 4,000 RPM. So you got a good torque rating.
So you bench dynoed it.
This motor was built by AR Racing
Okay.
out of Richmond, Virginia,
Okay.
and the similar motors dyno with that. This has never been dynoed.
Okay.
But this same motor with this same products in it dynos at those numbers.
Okay, I'm not
So-
a huge motor guy. I know some guys get into bench dynoing. You
Yep.
add this, you can do this, you do that. And
Right. Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
So I can't imagine your motor not being well thought out as much as the rest of the car.
Yeah.
So
No.
this is going to be a screaming motor.
It's pretty. Yeah. It is, and it'll run on pump gas. It's 10.5 to 1. So
10.5, okay.
yeah, 10.5 to 1. So it will run on pump gas. It's a little cami. It's 577, 570.
Okay.
577, 587.
So we're running power brakes. We'll have enough
Power
vacuum.
brakes. Yep. Power brakes.
They'll give us enough
It,
vacuum.
it
for
will
everything.
run the vacuum. Yep.
Mhm.
It will run the vacuum for the power brakes.
And it's going to be carbureted.
Yes, it's carbureted.
And you showed me the carburetor. Now,
And I'll
every aspect of the car is like, wow, this is like way thought out. You've had to do a lot of internet searching.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt about it.
Is that your
But
main?
that's part of the fun.
So you're mainly an internet searcher?
No,
you go to the
no,
car shows?
not
or-
necessarily. No, I went to a lot of car shows and seen different things and get different ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and use car shows for that to get different ideas, and but you still want to just incorporate a few from here and a few from there, and.
But where'd the big idea come from? I mean, you got a tall T. You got. Is that what you wanted? Is that?
Originally, I was going to build a 31,
Mm-hmm.
and then that tall T came up on Craigslist, and I'm like, man, I've never heard of a fiberglass
Not a lot of them out
T,
there.
and there's just not a lot of them out there.
There's
and,
only one company I know that makes it, and I don't think they make. Do they
And,
make it
and they
anymore,
don't
Don?
make it, right.
No.
He's
There's
shaking-
only one
he's shaking his
right.
head no.
There's
That-
one company that makes it, and they don't make it, and they don't build them like you build them. And that's fair. In all fairness, and I don't want to mention that company because I don't want to bad.
Yeah, what they had was good.
But,
It was just-
but right, they had a good start, and you made it better. Period.
Well,
It's that
I think
simple.
anything you touch, you're going to make better anyway. So it doesn't matter.
But you've made the product better, and definitely made the body better.
So
and
I'm guessing this
so
is
now-
not your first hot rod.
No, it's not my first hot rod. No, but I had a 31 for 19 years that never quite made it to completion.
Oh.
And then I let a guy buy it from me.
Uh-oh.
And always regretted it. You've heard the story a million
Yeah,
times. You
yeah.
know how the story is. So that's why I wanted to buy a 31. And then that came up, and I'm like, man, I got to try to buy that. So the guy delivered it to me from Colorado, and when I got it, there was a few things about it I was disappointed about, so I brought it down here, and you've corrected all those things, and
So now we're moving ahead. This,
So now
this
we're
is
moving
really,
ahead.
this is a
And-
big day, and this is a great
This
day
is
for
a
you to
huge
come
day.
down.
Yes.
We're going to the board. Once we get to the board and we're close enough, we can
Right.
actually start
We can
writing on
start
the board.
putting stuff together.
Then it's, you know, it looks like
Yes.
it's coming together. It's clean work now.
Yep, very clean.
Show off your front end.
Front axle, made by Pete and Jake's, actually built by Rodek, who builds engine blocks. This is actually forged by Rodek.
Really? I didn't know
Yes,
that.
Yes. And this
Jerry,
is-
great guys over there.
they are
Thanks.
great people over
Yeah.
at Pete and Jake's.
They know
And-
their stuff.
But this is a one of one because it's a suicide spring behind. So you guys have done some special things to it, had to get a special spring for it. Most of these axles, or all of these axles, are actually a spring over axle. So, you know, we have a one-off thing going on here.
So we're set up for
You know,
that. We still need a drag link on here, so we're waiting on a
Right, so we
left-hand
kinda
thread
got a little
tap. So we
pigeon
didn't,
toed going on,
it's a
but-
size we don't normally use, so we
Right.
get that. And
Right.
basically front end, these headlights.
This is the first time I've seen it, you know, I mean, I've seen it on camera, and
Uh-huh.
let me tell you folks, it looks a lot better in person, but it really looks good, you know. Got the Willwood brakes on it. Yeah, just,
And it's safety wired.
it's safety wired,
Didn't
yeah.
have no safety wire, so we had to wait on a couple
We had
days for
thought
safety wire.
about putting a spreader
Spreader
bar on
bar.
the front. Don't want it, because I really like that axle front and center, and it is, and that's how I want to leave it.
Yeah, we're putting the spreader bar on the Larry Ace, the Blue Moon.
And it looks
It
great.
looks good, great on
It
that.
looks great
And it
on
gave us
this
the
stuff.
option to put it here. And
Yep.
the way this front end is, I think I agree with you. It looks,
Yep,
it's clean. You got your lights here. You don't need to up here somewhere.
I agree.
And these, I mentioned, I was like, wait, I thought there might be a product like this, so I mentioned it on video one day, and next thing I know, these show up. These are turn signals and running lights. This
Yeah.
little bullet here.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Is that an internet eBay
That was
buy?
the
or-
internet, yeah, they're not cheap, $40, but did buy it on the internet. I can't tell you the website right off right now, I don't know it right offhand, but,
We've got the shocks. This is
yep, the shocks, I know those came out of California.
Got a half rack for steering. This is nice. It's clean. These are motorcycle probably headlights?
Yes, those are motorcycle headlights. Actually, they're Harley. They're for a Harley. And they are a little smaller, but that was just kind of the theme that we were going for.
You can find a lot of
And they
really...
do make this same exact headlight in a 6-inch. This is a 5-inch, they make it in a 6-inch, but it's also 13-inch or 11 inches long. So it's quite a bit longer, and I just wanted the smaller light. But you can get it in a larger light if you like the larger light. So that is available.
You can find a lot of really cool stuff in the motorcycle world. If you got a hot
Oh.
rod, you see a big Harley shop, go in and look at the trinkets on the wall, and there's usually some cool lights or some
Right.
neat
I'm-
mirror or something you can incorporate.
And these were actually, what they posted them, they had them like on a 34. They actually had them spiked.
Oh,
all the
really?
way down on the 34, yeah, on the back.
Wow.
That's how I found those. But a lot of surfing to find these. In fact, I had bought those other ones that you showed in one of the other shows, and they look nice too. But I think
Yeah, these are nice.
these are very fitting. Absolutely.
And we've fitted the radiator and the grill shells go on it. You got a 32 grill shell cut
No,
down.
it's 29.
29.
29.
There it is, 29 for sure.
yeah, absolutely.
And so we got that all fitted. You got a good idea on the radiator. We'll talk about that when we go to the radiator.
Okay. Yep.
We had the motor fitted in already, so it's pretty much just drop it in. We're running brake lines now. So I know you've been with Sean here this morning. Surely we're going with true frame fittings up here.
Yes.
And coming back, are we gonna, anything special back here? Just running the brake lines? We're mocking all that up. We're not really mocking it up.
Building it.
We're gonna paint. You know, we had a discussion about the booster.
Yep.
Chrome or no chrome, but since you see a little bit of under the car, we're just gonna go with paint it all
We're going to paint it.
and have it clean.
Well, because we're trying to black things out and then show things off, and I think that's a good idea to black that out.
Right now, we got the body looks like a turtle in there just sitting upside
Oh,
down.
yeah.
So we're working
Yeah.
on the floor, but it's slick, so it'll be slick on the inside, and we're still trying to come to a conclusion of what we're gonna go with the interior. An idea I thought it's gonna work, and I'm glad you agree, and Eddie likes it. the way the back glass is. We'll say that for another show, but we'll just talk about
Okay,
that.
yeah.
There's still so much here.
There's a lot to do.
We haven't even got to the table yet.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. you know.
Did we find out TDS? Really cool looking, nice form of a 9-inch.
Mhm.
Willwood brakes again on the back, but we don't see a vent.
Nope, there's no, we didn't find one.
So
We
we
took
didn't know
both these off.
But
yep.
these are off. There's no.
And
so,
there's no vent, yep.
We may need to really.
So we're gonna have to build
deal
a
with the
vent,
vent
probably, yes, we definitely need a vent.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
So those little details.
It's
this'll
not like you have
probably
to
be
fill it all the time, so we could use this fill
Yeah.
to area.
So
for
we may come
a
up
vent.
with it's cars like this, you don't realize how much thought goes into them.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, just
No,
getting a vent on a car
Right,
takes
right.
a little bit. So
And, all of our other fittings are,
yeah, let's
Anodized
get to
fittings.
let's get to the table here.
okay,
My goodness, starting with
okay, yep.
your full steel. It's not very heavy to be a steel.
No, yeah, it's actually your aluminum water pump, and, so then we drill these water pumps on each end, and we also drill the center of the block. So then what happens is we pull the water off of the center of the block back to the water pump, and it helps keep these cars really cool in a parade, especially when you have a little thumpy cam and you make a little heat in that motor. So we'll put those anodized fittings here and then in the block, and then we'll run our braided steel line there, and then we'll also run the braided steel line on top of the manifold.
We generally
From
don't
front
have a
to back.
problem with the cooling on a T, but we had one, Alan from Louisiana, could not get it to stay cool until we did that.
Is that
Once
right?
we did that, took
Yep,
care of the problem.
that works really good in race cars.
And remember, your water pump is turning the right direction.
Yes.
I mean, you can get them both.
You can get them both ways,
so
that's right.
Make sure
If
you're
you
turning
get-
the right
If you
direction.
don't get the right one, you're gonna have a problem.
So we're going to paint this.
So we're gonna paint the water pump itself black, because everything we've got on all these pulleys are billet.
Mm-hmm.
And, how they designed this particular pulley is made by CVF, and what they do is that's why they use a long water pump. They actually just add this serpentine in here for your power steering pump. Then they've already got everything designed in. This one doesn't have a power steering pump, so you don't have that belt.
This is going to be cool. It's like Christmas.
But-
You start showing me this. I said, no, wait, just let me see it live on camera. This is some cool stuff here.
Yeah, it's very cool. And then this is just the bracketry
Okay.
for that, alternator. And then, of course, there's the chrome alternator in there. They're pretty standard.
Now, this is something you just don't see every day in the Holly carburetor.
Yeah, that's the fuel log for the Holly carburetor here. And that'd be your fuel
Now,
log.
is that cool or what? I mean, it's aesthetically pleasing as well as
And
it'll be
you've got your
functional
combination
and
of
nice.
aluminum and black, and that's kind of the theme of the car. So we're keeping everything to that theme. Trying to think it through. And then, of course, here's all your anodized fittings. We use those and the braided steel line. And the thought was to run the braided steel line, the fuel line itself, in the frame rail, and then come out and put a grommet and go right to the fuel pump, which is back here. And the fuel pump is actually just a polished aluminum, but it is a Carter. It is a Carter, and I believe it is a 110. It's a 110 gallon per minute. So it will definitely serve the purpose that we need to serve, but we're mechanical. You said we're mechanical, so we got to stay mechanical.
What do they call it?
So-
Modern mechanical.
Modern mechanical.
Modern mechanical.
Yep, modern mechanical. And then this, you haven't seen a lot of these, I don't know. I didn't open this box yet, but this is a black, actually
What does
a
it say? It
black.
says black.
It's a black billet, so this shaft is all black, everything's black.
Oh,
So
really?
it's a
Well, let's
billet-
open the box.
Yeah.
Come on, we can do it. Need a
Right.
knife for that, or
Yeah.
you?
Come on. We're raining outside.
There you go. You got it.
Hey,
I'm almost afraid to carry my pocket knife anymore. How the culture's changed. You go anywhere, it's like they search you and they put you through a
I
scanner
think we got
nowadays.
2 boxes, Bob. Yeah, it's like Christmas around here all the
It
time.
is.
Isn't it? What am I doing wrong?
Probably there you go. Oh wow.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And this is a single wire, so you don't have to have, and you've got adjustable vacuum, or adjustable, come on. Oh, they don't want you to get that out of there.
Wow.
There you go.
They're going against their branding with
They're
that.
not giving you that, though.
That
And
is
we
very-
can take this, we can actually take this vacuum advance off of here. So we don't have to have it on the motor.
Okay.
Yep.
Why is that?
And
We just don't need it?
we don't need it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we can actually, change all the, we can actually, it's got mechanical secondaries. We can change all this in here. Change the springs in here.
So I'll be reading the manual, huh?
Well, yeah.
That's one thing nice about a lot of the companies.
You don't care if you just want that laying there.
That's we'll be putting that in the
Right,
motor.
and we're gonna
fairly
have,
soon.
right, and that motor's not, when I didn't tell you, but that fuel pump is clockable,
Mhm.
so we can clock that thing.
So we'll be.
Yeah,
We're pretty much to the point. Motor will go in and stuff will go together.
the
This will
less,
get a
the
car- a
less we
charcoal
have
by
to
now.
trust that vacuum, the better off we are. So, anyway, moving down the line, I'll get this guy out. We're gonna replace those valve covers
Oh, wow, those are pretty
with
neat
these.
there.
Of course, they're not out of the box, but I'll take that one out of the bag for you, and you kinda got that,
Oh yeah.
that textured coating going on.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And you've got that matte color, and we're trying to intermix that
This
gloss
is what I'm trying to get on the
for
inside
the
of the car.
inside of the ceiling.
If
Yes.
I can get this,
And
be
then
happy
these,
with it. This would be good.
and then these breathers here are pretty slick little breathers made by Airflow Research.
Oh my.
So there you go there.
I love the clean work. I have to tell Sean to put gloves on. It's like, that guy, he's like a pig pen. He can come around. No offense to
Yeah.
Sean, but he can touch something.
Well,
and it's like,
he's a great welder though.
he's a great,
he
well,
is-
and most of all, the steel has some kind of coating on it, so
Yep.
you can't hardly carry it in without getting that on you.
Okay, so, and then of course that's just your, I don't think any of that stuff's.
And this has the same, oh, this is slick, okay.
Yeah, it's slick. It's not quite the same. These are made by two different manufacturers, but you do have this blacked out. Might have to dress that up a little. I see we got some black on there, but pretty much that. And then you've got your butterflies that will be polished right here. They've got the little tape on them, so.
Very good. I'm kind of anxious to see this all together.
Yeah, it's gonna look.
You're probably not too anxious, are you?
No, I'm
you're a real
not.
patient
No,
guy.
I'm not anxious at all. Right.
Good starter.
Yep,
That's a
yep.
good-
Power Master mini starter, all aluminum case. So, a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff to go together.
Lot
So
of stuff.
we can get a lot together. This is the kind of stuff that goes pretty quick. Once you get
Yeah.
it going, and we'll get the brakes on, and I bet this week we see this thing kind of looking like a car, or at least a chassis.
Oh, yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
we've made the board. I
wish I did a better job
told
of
him.
explaining that distributor, but
would. Here's my tip of the day. When you get to this point, make a board.
make
And
a
Larry,
board.
you got this. And if I need to move the line up, I better move the line up. I think we'll give you all the way up to this line.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to hurry up and get out of here.
To
I'm
tell
gonna-
us what we want to do, to make sure we get. There was a couple things like the vent on the
Vent the rear end.
differential.
Yeah,
and-
we'll figure out all
and
those
I'll-
things. That-
Oh, the radiator. That was the thing I forgot about.
the radiator.
You asked me if we could do.
Right, because we're trying to keep this thing blacked out, what I'd like to do is build a little aluminum shroud back here. Now, it doesn't have to be raised up much. Do you have a box brake?
We have a break, yeah.
Okay, so we could raise it, I don't know that we need to. I'd rather more have this blocked off. And so you're seeing your black fan, and then I'd like to paint that black.
Okay.
And then kind of black
So we have
more
black
stuff out.
and
So we got some aluminum, but we don't have too much aluminum going on. And then, of course, on the front side of that radiator, we've got,
Now I do have. This is also an option, but we do have a shroud that it's a fiberglass one
okay.
that could possibly fit on here.
Oh,
too.
yeah, that would be fine.
And then it
because-
would bolt right on, and we could paint it black.
Absolutely, that would be perfect.
So
Yeah.
before you leave, I'll dig that out somewhere.
Yep.
And we'll see how close to this radiator it is.
Okay,
But if we've got to customize it a lot,
then we
maybe
wouldn't
better
want to
to
do
just
it.
do the
Right,
aluminum.
right. But I tried to see if there's not one available for this radiator.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, Champion doesn't build it, so, you know, but I just, that way you can keep your fins protected.
Mm-hmm.
You know how those are, you look at them and they bend.
Yep, yep.
You know.
Well, very good, and then this will get a
Yep.
Model A grill shell.
Model A grill shell, and then that's your grill itself.
Set up for a hood, but we're not running a hood, are we? Are we running a hood?
No, there's no hood.
We may want to take that off.
Probably
there,
take
clean
that
it up.
bar off of there, yeah.
Yep. Well, there we are.
Yep. And then Fast Eddie was going to build a bra for that.
Good idea. What's your reasoning behind that? We've talked about it a lot, but this is a good idea. I hadn't thought about it.
The reasoning behind that is because I live in Iowa and there's a lot of tall corn and there's a lot of bugs that go with that. So if I'm driving, you know, and I got a lot of places that I'd like to drive this car 50, 60 miles, well, by the time I get there, that radiator is going to be so loaded with bugs that I can't get out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now I'm at the show and I got a radiator full of bugs.
Mm-hmm.
But if I got a bra, I can slip the bra off of it
Take it off.
and I'm ready to go at the show.
I'm surely people have
So-
done that before. I never even thought about that,
Yeah.
though, because once you start getting all them bugs in the radiator,
Yeah,
They're
right.
there.
They're just there, and you're
They're
not going
there.
to get them out. And you're at the
you
show.
can clean it up, but you don't get it out like it was new. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay.
now you got to meet the infamous, famous.
I don't know about
the famous
infamous.
and infamous.
The friend.
Larry
Your
Talty.
friend.
So we got to pick a story.
Okay. Let's pick a story.
You can pick a story.
I got to find one that you haven't done yet.
Well, I'll just pick one.
I mean, are you kidding me? How about my grandpa used to say?
My grandpa used to say.
I don't know.
I don't think we've done it. My grandpa used to say,
you?
have we?
No.
And my grandpa used to say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I used to think there should be a better way to make that point, but it did get me to use my creativity and evaluate efficiency. That's true.
That is true.
I mean,
It's kind of true what we're talking about.
it's what we're talking about. So there's more than one
It
way to
is.
skin a cat, and you've done this is the high-tech way of skinning a cat right here. You got the ultimate in modern mechanical. This is old school street rotting to the
extreme.
To the extreme.
Yep. Yep.
But it's just cool. It's just cool all the way through. Great job. I mean, great job.
No,
Thanks for
thank you
letting us
very
work
much.
on it. It's been exciting for us.
I'm happy to have it here.
So there we go. We were live at 11:05. I think we made it on time. We probably, if all holds true, we did about 15 or 18 minutes, maybe a little bit more, but you got to
30.
30
30
minutes.
minutes.
Oh my. Anybody watched to this point, congratulations.
Right. Congratulations.
And anyway, we will see you tomorrow, and by the end of the week, we may see this thing with the chassis put together tomorrow.